News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The Montana Supreme Court will hear the mountain water case in Missoula. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Thursday, January 28, 2016. Skies, we have dense fog right now outside my patented exclusive weather window. Roads are bare and wet with some slick spots throughout western Montana. It's 30 degrees right now. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Transport Equipment, your headquarters for RV service maintenance and repair, located just south of the Y on Inspiration Drive. Call 541-9097. Our top story this morning. Yesterday, the Montana Supreme Court announced it will hear oral arguments in Mountain Water's appeal of the district court's ruling on necessity in the condemnation case. Oral arguments are scheduled for April 22nd at 8:30 a.m., and they will be heard at the Denison Theater on the University of Montana campus here in Missoula as part of the annual Montana Law Day. Mountain Water Company President John Kappas released the following statement last night.
We welcome the Montana Supreme Court's decision to hear oral arguments on our appeal of the district court's ruling on necessity. The Supreme Court does not hear oral arguments on every case that it takes up. Despite the efforts by city officials to paint themselves as the inevitable future owners of the water system, we believe this opportunity allows us to highlight the legitimate questions in our appeal. We look forward to the opportunity to present our case before the Supreme Court.
KGVO News will be reaching out to Mayor John Engen for a statement today. State Senator Jennifer Fielder, author of a guest commentary in Wednesday's Missoulian, spoke with KGVO News following a shooting that occurred Wednesday night in Burns, Oregon, that killed spokesman Robert Finicum, representing protesters who had taken over a wildlife refuge.
Very sad that a life has been lost as a result of, this way these federal lands are being managed. I think that's the crux of what's occurring is we're seeing conflict all throughout the West.
Now, that shooting occurred Tuesday night. Fielder responded to the criticism that people who want control of federal lands return to the states, that the states will then simply sell the public lands to the highest bidder.
The federal government is the one that has bills in Congress to sell the land to the highest bidder. That's where that language is coming from. The states want these lands managed in accordance with the will of the people in the states, and here in Montana we love our public lands. We just want them managed better.
Fielders fears that a similar confrontation between federal authorities and local citizens could occur in Montana, just as it did with the Freeman 20 years ago.
The boiling point is very high. I'm very concerned about that. I'm trying to work on lawful solutions to restore the people's voice in the land management decisions so that these types of frustrations don't boil over and become dangerous.
Finicum was killed in an officer-involved shooting that's still under investigation. Federal and state officials have recommended the Interior Department move forward in consideration of two mining projects, total 644 million tons of coal beneath public lands, despite an Obama administration moratorium halting federal coal sales. Wednesday's vote by a 5-member panel clears the way for a multi-year evaluation of the projects. They're located in the Powder River Basin of Wyoming, Montana, the nation's largest coal-producing region. The January 15th moratorium from Interior Secretary Sally Jewell allows the processing of coal sale applications to proceed, but it blocks a final decision pending a sweeping review of the federal coal program that's expected to take up to 3 years. Industry opponents had urged officials to block the applications. They cited concerns over climate change and other environmental impacts from burning coal. A journalist is suing Yellowstone National Park and the National Park Service for its procedures regarding the park's bison culling operation. Chris Ketchum, a contributor to Harper's Magazine, explained his lawsuit to KGVO News yesterday.
No, I'm suing the National Park Service in Yellowstone specifically to gain access to their bison slaughter operations. They effectively belong to the public or are held in trust by the government for the public. I'd like to be on hand to directly observe the roundup, hazing, harassment, and trucking to slaughter of these animals.
The culling operation is the result of years of negotiations between groups representing Montana ranchers and the state of Montana. Ketchum said ideally he'd like to see bison roaming free in areas outside the park as well.
Indeed. It would be allowing these animals to migrate at their will. Look, if they're wandering on private land, that's one issue. If they're migrating on public land, well, it's public land. It belongs to the bison too, not just the stockmen and the cowboys.
The fight between cattle and bison appears to be at the the forefront of this lawsuit as well. One of Ketchum's attorneys, Justin Marceau, describes Montana cattle, quote, as, quote, an invasive species, end quote. A Montana woman is denied federal charges that she stole from Wells Fargo Bank in Billings. The Billings Gazette reports 38-year-old Sarah Marie Clark of Laurel pleaded not guilty to bank embezzlement during a Tuesday hearing before U.S. Magistrate Judge Carolyn Ostby. The indictment accuses Clark of embezzling over $36,000 while from Wells Fargo was working there between March and September of 2015. She faces a maximum of 30 years in prison and a $1 million fine if she's convicted. The case will be heard by U.S. District Judge Susan Waters. The Idaho-based New Jersey mining company has purchased a 50% stake in the Butte Highlands mine. The Montana Standard reports the New Jersey Mining purchased Timberline Resources stake in the gold mine, which is located about 15 miles south of Butte. Montana Gold Mining Company of Ontario, Canada, owns the other 50% stake. New Jersey Mining CEO Del Steiner said Tuesday that it's too soon to announce when the mine will be fully operational, but that road improvement projects required by the U.S. Forest Service should get underway this spring. And a Montana cow recently gave birth to twin calves from different fathers, a genetic oddity that occurs only once in every 5,000 cattle births. The Great Falls Tribune reports a Black Angus cow near Cutbank apparently gave birth to one gray calf and one black calf on Sunday. According to MSU genetics professor, genetic testing would be needed to confirm the calves' parentage, but it's very likely they had different fathers given their physical characteristics. And the National Weather Service is predicting a wintry mix of rain and snow headed toward western Montana the next couple of days. Meteorologist Leanne Allegretto said the first system is due to arrive today.
That will entail mountain snow and blustery winds, so there could be low visibilities driving over mountain passes because of blowing snow. For the most part, valleys are going to see rain, and it should stay rain through the course of Thursday through Friday morning.
Allegretto said there'll be a brief respite from the wet weather until Friday night.
Things will start ramping up again Friday night through Saturday, and when that happens, everywhere will get snow. So mountain passes all the way down to valleys, and the accumulations in valleys will be on the lighter side, but roads will be freezing ahead of that because snow levels will start dropping, temperatures will start cooling.
Allegretto said the mountains will get a total of 1 to 2 feet of snow, but even higher amounts closer you get to Bozeman. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Areas of fog this morning will give way to a good deal of cloud cover and occasional showers. High temperatures will top out in the mid-40s. Breezy tonight with our lows right around the freezing mark. Rain remains in the forecast Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.